This is iLLANOiZE Radio with Biko, iLLANOiZE Jones, and Pretty Riot going down right now.
Yo, Rick, you did it again, man.
Now, for those that's tuned in, I am your host, Biko.
It's your girl, Pretty Riot.
Jones ain't here today, so we just gonna he's here in spirit.
I miss him.
Oh yeah, this is how it was when when you was gone for that day. It's like you just feel it.
Oh.
It's all quiet over
there.
I don't see the beard. I don't see the big old stickers on the computer. Dang.
He in here talking about nothing crazy. It's so calm today.
It is. Look, listen to the air. It's just peaceful. Dang, Jones, when you gone, it's peaceful, bro. That's crazy.
Then with the rain, it's just so mellow.
Oh man. Welcome to iLLANOiZE Radio, everybody. Pretty Ride, how has your week been so far?
I had a pretty good week.
You did?
Yeah, I didn't do nothing special. Just went to work.
Dang. But you got a new gig, so you're preparing for that.
Yes, indeed.
I don't even remember. I had some I wanted to talk about. Oh, there we go. Before we get into our ill talk, my week was good. Yeah, I had a great week. I did want to first and foremost shout out what's the word for nominating us.
Oh, true.
You know, shout out those guys over there. Shout out the whole team over there for nominating us for best platform. So clap it up for that. You know. Big ups to him on that. We'll have that on our site. If you go to Illinois, if you're on iLLANOiZE.co/radio, scroll all the way down, you will see press, and you will see what's the word logo there. So you can click that and read it, and see what they said. Not just about us, but they had a whole
bunch of different
buzz awards. Go ahead.
Different categories and stuff.
So yeah, check that out. See their category, see who was nominated, who won, and things of that nature. Now we have an interesting ill talk topic for today, and it was suggested actually by our staff writer Jimmy, aka @Groove_Nuke.
Yeah, shout out Jimmy. He be helping out. He
contributing.
He really be coming through in the clutch.
Because we didn't know what to talk about, and out of nowhere he just sent things over like, bruh.
That was perfect timing, though.
It was.
That was perfect timing.
And Jimmy definitely keep his eyes out, his eyes and ears open. And the ill talk topic for today is: will the legalization of marijuana in Illinois end up being a spike or a setback for blacks in Illinois? Now, I'm going to jump into a couple IG comments before we start our discussion. The great one, Ask Around, he commented, "I don't know about it being a spike, but it's definitely a slap to the face of all the people that used it to hustle." Okay. Corey Ether, he said, "I'm just gonna say this: we need to get on our business and take advantage. There could definitely be a spike in black entrepreneurs in Illinois if we start businesses and capitalize off of this. But it's differently crazy how they locked up so many people just to legalize it." Okay. I am Prince Fafa. Yep. He said, "Yes, a spike for illegal selling, but if you do your research and get right in industry where you fit in you straight." Okay, if you do your research and you get in with the right industry, you get in where you fit in straight. Okay, I'm just trying to make sure I don't sound illiterate over here. For those that for those watching on YouTube, when this video is up, read that, make sure I wasn't tripping. And then Illinois Jones, yes, in spirit, he said, "It would be great for the state, but not for us as black people. We don't have farms or dispensaries. It'll be just like in California and the other states. This honestly just put blacks out of business." Laughing but very serious. He rhyming and don't even know he rhyming. All right, Jones, what you on? Okay. How you feel about things, Pretty Rod?
I think it'll be a spike in a sense, honestly.
My bad.
Honestly, I'm kind of feeling like a few different ways about it, because I'm like, yeah, it's going to be legal, but it's not like I'm really going on a daily basis, go to a dispensary to buy weed. I'm gonna shop with my local weed man.
I hear that.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't really feel like nothing gonna change for me. Like, right,
you don't think that them legalizing this will hurt your weed man?
How?
Think about it, yo. Like,
I'm asking because I want to know your perspective on how.
My perspective is pretty much a lot when it become legal. Do you know how many places are going to start selling marijuana?
Okay.
So,
and I'm pretty sure his plug is not still going to be getting weed from the places. Like, I don't know. Like, I just still feel like I'm going to shop with my weed, man. I'm not just going to go.
You loyal. You loyal. That's good.
Because I also feel like they probably going to be taxing for it, too. Like,
Yep. That's exactly what they going to be doing.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like even in other places, it might be cheaper or whatever, but I feel like Illinois is going to find a way to, like, overtax it. Not just, I don't know. I'd rather just stay loyal to who I buy with. And then I think, to touch on the point with, I think that they may have to free the people. Don't quote me on that, but I think they may have to have some reparations for all the people who are in jail currently for, like, marijuana charges. So, I mean, I don't necessarily think it'll be bad in the whole, like,
no,
in general.
it won't.
I think if people get smart about it, then, yeah, like, it'll be worth it.
To answer your question, to pretty much break down the those that's locked up, yeah, they will expunge certain people. It said that they will expunge individuals with cannabis convictions involving up to 30 grams of pot can now be pardoned by Governor J.B. Pritzker without having to initiate the clemency process. So I guess yes, for those that was caught with 30 grams. So I guess those that have more than that.
But that's a lot to have on you at one time.
That is. And imagine how many people finna get out for that.
Right.
So it's dope that, and I got this from the source of Sun Times. So yeah, people will be expunged, but I just feel like overall with them legalizing things, the state's still gonna mess up the money.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot of income pouring in from this.
Yeah.
A lot. But for those of you that don't know, for those of you watching us on YouTube from other cities, Chicago is one of the most corrupted cities. So right now we're in a tax deficit where the state needs money, this and that. And I feel like, yes, when they legalize this, it's going to bring increase in revenue. But the same thing is going to happen where some of these politicians, or I'm not even going to say some, most of these politicians are going to do what they've been doing, which is taking the money and using it for other things instead of for what it needs to be used for.
Right.
So that's one thing I can say. It's definitely going to spike revenue. So it will do that, but we won't never know because it's still the same process may happen. But like I said, these politicians take that money and do wrong with it. We already talked about the expunged. Oh, now let's get to the black conversation. How do you feel like the legalization will affect us, our black culture?
Honestly, I know this sounds petty, but I can't speak on what it's going to do for other people because I don't feel like it's going to change for me. Mm-hmm. So I can't, if black people are smart enough to go into the business of marijuana now, then by all means do it. Like, I certainly, for one, would do it. As much money as I invest in marijuana for recreational purposes, I might as well go invest in it in a way where it can make me some money. Facts. But I can't speak for what other people will do. If you feel like that's a train, something you can hop on and really be committed to it, then by all means. So I think it will create more jobs. Definitely. But I can't speak for everybody. That's just...
No, you're right. We, as a whole, we can't.
We can't. Because I feel like it's so many ways that you could go with that some people probably wouldn't even know how to go about it the right way either. And
I was reading, too, like, before the bill hit here, before they, decided to make things official, a lot of black entrepreneurs were already struggling in the marijuana business. For instance, taxes was higher for black farmers that was, creating marijuana or growing marijuana. They made taxes higher for them. They also took the land from them. They was taking a lot of land from these black farmers, and not even just marijuana, just black farmers in general. So they were like overtaxing them, taking land from them. They wasn't giving them the proper loans during the times of they would give them loans when the plant season was over. Now they crops is affected. They needed that money, when plant season was happening. So it's like I was reading just the government was just doing certain stuff to these farmers, giving them a hard time to actually make revenue. So I feel like it's going to be worse than what it is now. Like, yes, they are going to continue to tax us black folks. They do that now. On top of that, I just feel like, if we can find a loophole in things, then yes, most black entrepreneurs will, have a great shot at things. But with the way the government already treat a lot of minorities, not just black folks, just minorities in general, I see them making it hell for us to really get into that industry, and because that's a $1 billion industry.
What other industry? It's hell for us to get into any industry for real. If we being honest, like that, I think that's I hate to say this, but I think that's a very closed-minded view of it. Because it's hell for black people to do anything.
Yeah,
you can't go to the store without being followed around because you're black. Let alone own any type of business. It's already hard for black people to get liquor licenses and stuff like that. So if you want something, then go get it. Like, I don't even think that should be the mindset to, it's hard for us to do this. It's been hard. That's nothing new.
What else was it that I wanted to talk about? So yeah, they'll be actually making things legal January 1st, 2020. The state will allow up to an ounce on you. If you have up to an ounce, you good. Anything over than that, I think they will criminalize you. You can only smoke in designated areas, meaning like designated coffee shops. You can't really just walk around like now, smoke your weed. It's going to still be the same. You can't grow it as well. Only people that's medical patients, they can grow up to 5 plants. And yes, employees will still test you. They will still give you a drug test.
But at that point, what's the purpose? That's stupid.
Very. It's like, come on, it's legal now.
It's legal now. So what's the penalty going to be if I do test for this drug?
I think companies are going to have to switch that protocol up.
That's an outrage.
No, but that's facts though.
But if it's legal, like alcohol is legal, I can go take that don't come up in your.
It don't, but they can't test you.
But they can test your blood alcohol level. So.
Oh, and then lastly, this is what they have plans for legalizing weed here in Illinois. This is where your money's gonna go. So 35% of tax dollars will be added to the state's general revenue fund. 25% will go toward areas that have been adversely affected by previous drug policies. 20% will be used to fund mental health and substance abuse programs. 10% will go into a fund dedicated to stabilizing the state budget. Ain't that the same as the first one? 35% going to the state's general revenue, and then 10% going to stabilize the state budget. So 45% going to the state.
Right.
8%, you feel me? 8% will be allocated for law enforcement, and a final 2%. Y'all ready for this? The last little crumbs will be used for public education.
Why is education so underfunded?
Why is it last on everybody's list? That is an outrage.
That's the real outrage.
2% of all the revenue from legalizing marijuana will go towards education. That's a blatant slap in the face. Then they tried to reword it where they say they get 35% will be added to the state's general revenue, and then 10% will go on to stabilize the state budget. That's still the state. So actually they taking 45% of them. Like I said, Chicago is we got one of the most crookedest governments, man, and we see it now. 2% going to education. That's a slap in the face. Get 10%, 15% to educate these kids. Keep them off the block. You putting 2%, that's really not much of a change.
Okay, and what was the one you said?
25% will go toward areas that have been adversely affected by previous drug policies. Break that up. I hate to sound ignorant, but what does that mean? Yeah.
Because if there are schools in these so-called communities,
maybe
areas,
that's what I'm saying, going to that.
Yeah, then I could understand maybe, but then it's also like, who's distributing this? Who's gonna make sure this happens? Like, it's like when we get the money, who's gonna make sure it goes to the right places?
Yeah, that's why I said, you know, once all this revenue come to help, it's supposed to help our budget deficit, but I feel like still gonna be the same. And even if it's gonna be a lot of revenue coming off of this, but we still as people not gonna see where the hell is going.